Good morning, everyone. Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates here. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before, and thank you for coming back. I appreciate you being here. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. Got several things to show you. I don't know how long this is going to be because I may ramble a bit, but that's okay. Let's see. I am standing doing this video today. I've tweaked my, I think it's probably my sciatic nerve has been bothering me. It's gotten worse over the past couple days, and I'm pretty sure it's from sitting in the uncomfortable either chairs or sitting on the bed. You know, not much furniture in the room to choose from, so, and I think it's probably started from, all the organizing, getting ready for the move, and then the drive across the country, and then on the plane, and then in the hotel room. So I'm just not feeling very comfortable these days. So I'm standing for this one. I don't know whether that's any better or not, but for the moment it feels better. We did not do the hike up Diamond Head this weekend because this has been bothering me. Been reading up on the sciatic nerve, and you know, you want to stretch it and you want to use it. It gets worse with inactivity, but I don't want to push it too much either. Excuse me. If there's anybody out there who knows what to do to make this feel better besides just Motrin, stretching, I've been doing some of my yoga stretching. I have to get back into yoga more consistently again. But anyways, I'd love to hear whatever remedies you might have to offer. So let's see. Not a whole lot has happened since I talked to you last, was it Friday? Haven't gotten the Jeep yet. Hope to hear either today or tomorrow that it has arrived on the island. Went up to the apartment yesterday to meet with the property manager, so got that all sorted. That's about it. Just hanging here. I made reservations for Christmas lunch at the Disney Aulani Resort here on the island. Christmas dinner was already filled up, but we'll take lunch. We'll just wander around and enjoy the decorations, and that should be fun. And of course, I will take lots of pictures. Yeah, that's about it. Not sure what pictures I'm going to be putting on the front of this. Probably just some shots of our... We did film part of the history walk on the island on Saturday. I haven't gotten it up onto our other channel yet, Sunsets and Sangria, because I'm not sure how to get it off of the GoPro onto the laptop. I may have to take it off of the GoPro onto the iPad and then onto the laptop, and I just haven't had a chance to do that yet. So what you'll see at the beginning will probably be just some shots I took as we were doing that walk on Saturday morning. Other than that, yeah, not much to report. It's another beautiful day in Honolulu. Let's see, it is 10:06 in the morning on Tuesday, December 18th, and it is 77 degrees and partly cloudy, going up to a high of 79 today. It was down to 63 last night, so a little chilly. Oh, that must be some jets taking off. Probably some F-18s, Mike would know. That was pretty loud. I don't know whether you could hear that. Anyway, enough about that stuff. Let's talk about finishes. So I am trying to have a finish every week for this video, and my finish kind of sort of, now please forgive me as I stretch around. My construct here to get you raised up enough so I can stand is I have a cooking pot, 3 plates, and the ice cube, the ice, you know, holder thingy, ice bucket, that's the right word, all stacked on the table with my iPad on top. And so I have all my piles around the table, so I'm gonna have to kind of reach around you every now and then to get my stuff. So the first thing I need to get is my scarf. You may have watched my video yesterday of me cutting or steeking my scarf. That was the next step. The knitting is done and the steeking is done. So what you see here is all that section that was just the plain stockinette stitch cut apart and unraveled. And so that's what this is. So the next step is to block it. And when it gets blocked, seeing which is the right side. That's the right side. When it gets blocked, that yarn is going to relax and all this is going to open up and form this beautiful, lacy, open, gorgeous piece of knitwear. And then these will straighten out, and then I think the next thing she has us do is some kind of twisty braidy thing to form these into some nice fringe. So my first finished knitwear on the island. Isn't that pretty? We're gonna just put that right there. Okay, so that's the only finish. Like I said, I'm trying to have a finish each week. I'm thinking what I'm on track to finish for next week is my Winter Wonderland. And I'm sorry, I did not put the link to Kaniki's Whims and Prims in my description last week. I will do that this week. And this is also, I'll put the description for this Magmatic, the Magmatic Scarf by Laura Nelkin. Oh, and I also wanted to say a little bit of an advertisement here. And I am not in any way affiliated or get anything from Laura for pushing her products, for pushing her patterns. I've knit a lot of them. I love Laura's designs. She's a good friend. And so I highly encourage people to try out her patterns. I also wanted to say, she still has some openings in her N Club. I did check yesterday. That is her yearly subscription club. You'll get 3 kits throughout the year, which include yarn, pattern, usually some kind of goodie or tool, some kind of sweet goodie. And then there's usually in the first one like a bigger goodie. So it's a great way to discover her patterns. It's a great way to discover new indie dyers that you might not have exposure to. Not necessarily new to the business, but new to you. Or boutique yarns that you might not have exposure to. And it's a great way to learn. Laura's designs are always interesting, always a little challenging. She has great support, video support in all of her patterns. And she also has a fantastic Ravelry group. This was a mystery knit along way back when, probably 2, maybe 3 years ago. I knit one and gave that away for a friend, the one that came with the club. So this one I created the yarn ball on my own with my own yarns. Mystery knit alongs, whether you decide to do one of Laura's or you do somebody else's, if you are a beginning knitter, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to give mystery knit alongs a try. You know, so many times when you are looking at a pattern, at a design like on Ravelry, you will look at it and you'll think, oh, that's beyond me, I can't do that. With mystery knit alongs, you'll find that you don't know what's coming. You look at the catalog of the designer's other designs and decide if you like those. If you like those, you probably will like what the new design is going to be. But you don't have a chance to be intimidated. So what usually happens is you do it. You have support, and especially with Laura, like I said, You have great video support. You have great support on the Ravelry group, not just from Laura, but from everybody else who's knitting it along with you. And you'll find that you can do more than you think you can. And you don't get intimidated, and you're surprised by the end that you can do more than you think you can. So mystery knit-alongs, highly encourage. Okay, so again, love Laura, love her designs. That's my commercial for her. My commercial for Kaniki, Nicole Franklin, Kaniki's Whims and Prims. This is Winter Wonderland. The fabric is hers as well. It's a printed fabric, and she designed this to go on this fabric. And so, let's see, from last time I got more of the snow done, and I have Mr. Belsnickel almost done. I have his beard done. There's a hat up here and a little bit of face in there that I'll get done today. Fighter jets out of Hickam. I just think it's so cool. Mike very much thinks it's so cool. They're sending the bird scattering boy. All right. Holy cow, yeah, the birds don't like that at all. So, there's a tree here yet, there's a birdhouse here, and I think 2 more trees and some fencing, and then of course the rest of the snow. And this baby will be done. And more birds in the trees. So I am hoping that I will have that done by next week. This is 32 count linen, and I am actually doing 1/2. I know most people do 2 strands on 32 count. I prefer 1. I think the 1 kind of works well for this more primitive pattern anyway. And I just, I find even with 32 count that I'm often fighting with 2 strands. It just feels too bulky to me. I know most people use 32 strands on 32, but that's okay. I like to be different. I am using maybe a couple of the DMCs that are called for, and the rest are my own conversion. So, Winter Wonderland, Kaniki's Whims and Prims. I hope to have that done to show you next week. Let's see. The next thing is Sampler Cove, Grace Quaker Sampler. I worked on this quite a bit on Sunday and got another motif done. Started a motif. So there's that. I never know. This is washing out the fabric. The light today is washing out the fabric just a little bit. So I got this motif done, started this motif, and I need to show you this K up in close and personal. So the letters scattered throughout the sampler are done 1/1. So this is 40 count fabric. So this is 1/1 on 40 count. Let me see, I'm not sure that really helped. But anyways, Ash Rose is the name of the fabric by XG Designs. And let me just say, I am rather proud of my 1/1 on 40 count. These 54 going on 55-year-old eyes aren't doing too bad. That is with readers though, 3.0 readers. So, variety of grays from one of the Victorian Motto sampler shops, gray packs, and the red is also a Victorian Motto. So I really like that. I'm not working on this full time. I'm trying to give it an hour a day. There were a couple days that I missed, so I gave it a chunk of time on Sunday. Whatever, right? It's all good. Needle and thread in hand is good. Next is Home for Christmas by Plum Street Samplers. I decided to go ahead and start this because Michelle, Bendy Stitchy, hi Michelle, she did. So we do what Michelle does, right? So this is one of the dying for cross stitch, or no, dying to stitch, I'm sorry, dying to stitch clubs that I'm not a member of, and I managed to score this off of Stash Unloading. So I have started it, and I have the top banner here started. And there's a very good chance that I am going to then, once I get this done, I'm going to drop down and do some of this. So intersperse working on the banner with working the fun parts. Not that that isn't fun. I love the colors on this. I think that's really scrumptious. So whenever I showed this the last time, Leslie Hurley got in touch with me and said, "Oh, Jan, if you should happen to want to pass that on, could you maybe consider me?" So I said, let me write it down right now. So here we go. We're starting a list. I started this on the 14th. I'll note when I finish it, hopefully sometime in January. I don't want to make Leslie wait too long, and then I will pass it to Leslie. So, pass the stash. It's always a good thing. Okay, that's really all I'm working on. I know that's quite a bit. I am pretty figured out on what I'm going to do for the new year. I don't know whether life will cooperate, but my plans are so my knitting plans are, every time I finish, I want to get through, I have a ton of WIPS, just a ton. So every time I finish an old WIP, I'm going to start something new. And I'll finish the new, and then I'll go back to a WIP. So hopefully that way I can still get through the pile of projects that I have started and haven't finished, but still do some new things too to keep it interesting. On the cross-stitch side, 2019 is going to be Stitch from Stash. It is also going to be the year of Big Ass Projects, BAPs, and it's also going to be the year of finishes. And you're saying to yourself, I'm not sure all that works together, Jan. I'm not sure it all works together either. But what I want to do is get started on some of my big projects, like the Four Seasons Street Scene by Soda Stitch, like my Las Gonzales Mexican sampler, like the Leeds House sampler. I don't have any Hades in there. I do own 4 Hades, but I'm not doing them yet. There's several other ones. I have all of those kitted up except Las Gonzales. I have the fabric. I got some vintage, some Victorian Motto Sampler Shop fabric, but I don't have the silks for that yet. And so I'm going to, so I have a conundrum here. My plan is to, on the first week, starting on New Year's Day, maybe New Year's Eve, do a different new start every day of these big ass projects and do a Flosstube video of them. The sun just went behind a cloud. Did you see the change in the light? I don't have my silks yet for Las Gonzales. I think I have everything I need for everything else. The problem is I don't have the fabric or the pattern either because it's in the shipment, which we are hoping. I'd mentioned December 28th. December 28th is the day we said, oh, we'd like to get it by then. The shipping company said, you'll get it no later than January 14th. So I hope I have the shipment and all of my stuff by the new year. If not, I will start what I can that first week and start the others whenever I get them. But the problem is, and this is actually a call out to you guys, if any of you have the Las Gonzales sampler, I don't have the list of silks that I need. So if you could provide that to me, I'd really appreciate it so that I could get those silks and at least have those in hand to start whenever I want to. I have a feeling that the cross stitch store here probably sells them since they're also a needlepoint store. So I'll be checking those first, but I don't know what they are. So actually I'm going to check the price of them first. And if they're more than what I can get them online, I'm just going to get them online, because that's going to be pricey. I think it's 22 colors I read on one website. 123 Stitch does not carry it. The websites that I did find that carry it do not list the silk colors that are needed. So, and then the finish part of my 2019 plans is, you know, all the things that I started in Stitch Mania last year, I'm going to continue to work on. A lot of them are smaller things, some are more medium things, but I'm going to intersperse those in between the big ones. So we'll see how that works out. Goodies, didn't get a whole lot of goodies. I'm aiming for this stitch from Stash, so I'm not buying a whole lot. I did get the Christmas card from Pam and Steph. Thank you, ladies. So far, of the 3 things that I've gotten in the mail here, all 3 of them are cross stitch related, and 2 of them, well, if you count that the one from Keepsakes is kind of sort of connected to Steph, right? 2 of them are from Steph. So thanks, ladies, make my day. The other thing I forgot to show you, speaking of Leslie Hurley, she made me this adorable scissor fob. Look at that. Is that Sasha? Sasha's in the middle of my scissor fob. He would love to be in the middle of my stuff, but ain't no way. Aw, poor kitty. He's down there sleeping all innocent-like. She sent this to me. I had given her my in-laws' address in Arizona. So it arrived there, and I forgot to show you guys next week because life is scattered. But isn't that adorable? So, thank you, Leslie. I am thrilled. Look how pretty those beads are. Just so pretty. So, that will go on my scissors now. All right. So the rest of this video, I am going to be talking about knitting. So if you're not interested in that and what's coming up, then I will say goodbye to you now, and I will see you on Friday. I'm going to do another Stitch with Me on Friday, so I will see you then. For those that are interested in knitting, thanks for sticking around. So I did start another knitting project. I started the Palmer Tee by Kitty Bee Knitting, and I just have a 3-row start, not much to show. Let me see, I didn't actually find the picture of it beforehand like I should have. So there's the Palmer Tee, and of course it's going to fade on me, by Kitty Bee Knitting. So I am using a yarn by Queensland. It's called Llama Soft or Cotton Soft. I forget which one. I don't have the tag with me. But it's a cotton llama blend, so it has the kind of the hold of cotton and the softness of the llama. Now, good news. Just got a call that the Jeep's here. And they're pretty darn sure this time. All right, so Palmer Tee. That's what I'm making with this. Now, I wanted to show you, Kat has done, when I was there, she was doing, just like here and there, she would do painting on like her jeans and jean jacket, just kind of splashes or painting swirls or whatever. Well, she decided to give that a try. Now, the Palmer Tee has that leaf motif in it. And so she kind of combined her knowledge of painting on fabric and painted on the knitting. She had a class at a Good Yarn, I think it was just this past weekend, where she taught people how to do that. So the background fabric, I believe, for both of these is gray. And so this one she just painted some of the leaves and then these swirls going up, and you can see, I'm not sure whether, I think the background fabric of this was gray as well. I could be wrong, maybe it's pink and the gray was painted on with the yellow. Isn't that cool? So I am thinking that once I get this finished, and this is the paint she is using, this is by Jacquard. There's one called Textile Colors, and there's one called Lumiere. And she said they are washable after heat setting. So I'm thinking what I might do, because this is, I mean, the gray's not bad. It's a pretty gray, but I might accent some of the leaves in my sweater with, I don't know, a green or a turquoise perhaps. Anyways, I thought that was cool, and I thought you'd like to see that. So I think that's all. I think I showed you all the piles. I will link below the people I've mentioned: Cat sweater, Laura's sweater, Nikki's pattern, Winter Wonderland, and I think that's all. I will see you Friday. Like I said, I think Friday I might do my stitch along with Hoity Toity. Somebody had asked what colors I was using for that, and I was going to use the stitch along as an opportunity to talk about that, because I've changed, of course, most of the colors. So anyways, guys, I hope you have a great week. Again, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support, and thank you for your friendship. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate it even more being here, and really I do feel cut off. It's a long way home. So I do appreciate it, although I have to say, Kat and I laugh together, because she's very much a night owl, and so whenever she'd text me when we were in Maryland, it would be 10, 10:30, maybe 11 o'clock, and she's just getting going for the night, and I'm heading to bed. So whenever I told her we were moving to Hawaii, she was like, oh, you're going to be on my time. So now we can text, and like, she's up until 3 or 4 in the morning, and that's just evening for us. So crazy, crazy girl. Anyways, guys, have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. I will see you on, oh, one more thing I wanted to say. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. I'm not doing notes. I don't have any notes, so I need to start doing that, because I think there was something else I wanted to tell you too. But anyways, one thing I wanted to tell you. I've been getting a lot of requests for connecting up on Facebook. And there are some people that I've accepted their request simply because we've had interaction outside of this, whether we've met in person or in other ways. So I've accepted some friend requests, but for the most part I don't, because for me, the personal side of Facebook is the personal side. And I don't usually share a lot of my knitting or stitching on Facebook as much. So if you want to hook up with me in another way that we can interact more easily, I do have a Facebook page, Jan Hicks Creates. What a surprise. So I would love for you to like my page on there.